Welcome to the bold analysis. We have been asking a question that what is Charlene Ruto's mission in public? And I think the last 3 days, she came under sharp criticism after making what, according to me, was a big lie that she sold Smokies while in college, even though I've seen some few classmates coming over to defend her. But if she was the daughter of the deputy president by the time she was in college, of course, it is far from the truth that Charlene Ruto sold Smokies. And I just want to say that the presence of Charlene Ruto and Winnie Odinga in the political space, to me, is something I really welcome because they signal a transition, a generational transition. And so I also say that Charlene Ruto was Ruto's political scheme. I don't have any, of course, we don't have any problem with that. But now, I listened to a speech she made in Kibera, and it makes me make this conclusion that profiling of Winnie Odinga and Kennedy in the political space by members of Kenya Kwanza should stop, because Charlene Ruto is simply saying she wants to take over reins of power, get to the ring of politics in the next 2 years when the father will be making an exit. Listen to that that speech here.
Watu wa Kibra mjambo. Habari ya Saturday? Hii ni Saturday mzuri. Kwanza kabla niendelee, mpokee salamu kutoka president wetu Chief Hustler William Ruto. Na first lady wetu Mama Rachel Ruto, kina mama wamesalimia sana. Anatengeneza programu yenu ikuwe safi sana alafu akuje, sivyo? Mimi ndiye Charlene Ruto, binti wa president na first lady wetu. Mimi ni mtoto wa hustler na niliona nikuje Kibra leo. Tukiwa pamoja na Mr. Rao hapo, tulisema tuanze Christmas mapema. Christmas ianze mapema. Mapema ndio? So leo tuliona tukuje tu celebrate Christmas na nyinyi. Tumewaletea chakula. Tumewaletea Christmas kuje mapema. Mpike chakula, mkule, mfurahie Christmas, si ndio? Kwa maana Mungu amekuwa mwema. Tunawashukuru, election ilienda vizuri. Kulikuwa na amani. Tunashukuru Mungu, tunawashukuru kwa maana ni nyinyi mliweka amani. Na sasa time ya siasa imeisha. Sasa tunaendelea mbele, si ndio? Sasa ni time ya maendeleo, na this time watu wa Kibra waachwi nyuma, sivyo? Waachwi wapi? Nyuma. Hakuna kuachwa nyuma. Ndio maana leo kwa mara ya kwanza tumeanza Charlene Ruto Foundation. Mimi siingii siasa, mimi sitafuti kazi kwa serikali, mimi nimesema nikuje niwasaidie. Na tusaidiane. Aya, mimi ni youth champion. Sema youth champion. Youth champion. Mimi nafuata mambo ya vijana kabisa through foundation yangu. Ndio maana tumekuja kuona primary school yenu. Sisi tunaanza youth kutoka primary, si ndio? Kwa sababu in the next 10 years hao ndio watakuwa wanaongoza nchi. So tukikuja kuleta chakula, pia tutawapea wanafunzi wenu viatu kutoka leather industry yetu. Tunawaletea viatu 100, so 100 students watapata viatu. Tutawaletea viatu na pia tutaongeza stima kwa hizo classroom. Yes. Si ndio? Tutaongeze computers ndio watoto wasome. Maneno ya mwisho kutoka foundation yangu, tunapata scholarships nyingi na nimepata scholarships 500 ya Nairobi County. Na kutoka kwa Yakub tunaleta 50 zikuje kwa wanafunzi wamemaliza high school. So utafute wanafunzi wamemaliza high school, tunawapea scholarship, online scholarship, ndio wapate kuendelea kusoma hadi wapate degree.
So I think she's trying to, if you listen to that speech, what could be your quick takeaways from it, takeaways from that speech? Of course, everyone else knows that she's the daughter of the president and the first lady. But the fact that she went there and kept on responding, kept on saying, Mimi ni yule mtoto wa, I don't know. I don't know if that is necessary. There are some people that you don't need introduction. You don't need introduction. Someone should not, when already she's coming there, I don't know whether she was doubting her, those people don't know her or something, but that was it. What's your take on her now coming over in public to explain that what she's doing with the youth is under Charlene Ruto Foundation? I've tried to Google Charlene Ruto Foundation. Of course, I have not seen that website. I just want to try again now while doing this video. I tried to look for Charlene Ruto Foundation. I don't think it's there. Yes, so if you check, nothing like Charlene Ruto Foundation. It's not anywhere. So why do you think she's coming to explain where or which umbrella she's using? Because I think Kenyans have been asking, is she being funded or is she just taking the advantage of the office of the presidency? It's not a big deal. And of course, because she's close to the trappings of power, it only depends how you want things to be delivered to you. Whether you want to register a company or you register a foundation or so, it's something that you need to. But I think she's trying to justify a public concern that had been raised on funding, on who is funding her, under which office, under which guise, and it will be amazing. I think even if William Ruto wants to support her, it will be easy for her to get funding and to be supported through that foundation. What I don't know is why it's finally becoming to be, she's coming out to explain, because no merchandise, there is no trace of that foundation. If it could be somewhere, I've seen Sabina Chege was doing a project under, I think, Sabina Chege Foundation. There was, I think, also Wambugu. It's normally seen, even a Kode, and it could be visualized. I don't know why that is not being visualized. So she will be subjected to some public scrutiny by making that statement. Now, what I've also realized is Charlene Ruto is trying to equip herself with public speaking skills, and her going out and to talk to people and coming out, I think, is also giving her a leeway, is giving her a very good opportunity to express herself. And when she plans to throw herself in the ring, maybe it's coming to, people might really come to contend with. I will not be the youth that will use this platform to fight another young person. I don't think that is the intention, because everyone needs to, if she can come out and grow without the shadow of the father, then why not? Because each and every person also have a right and should be in a position to grow and thrive in her own spaces. Recently, Pauline Ruto asked a question and was giving a challenge to the secretariat, to Charlene Ruto secretariat, that instead of letting her do everything, they should choose one thing so that she moves in. If you listen to when she was giving that speech, she said something, I'm a youth champion. So the youth champion was planting trees. The other day was somewhere in Korogosho, today was in Kibera, and by then she's been moving in those slums, trying to do. I think President is trying also to use her to get to the people. And to me, they just want to know what exactly are people saying about, what exactly is the youth. They are trying by all means to reach the youth, even though we know that the food stuff that they were giving, they were saying early Christmas gifts to families, vulnerable families in Kibera, was to just early Christmas gift. But I think it's also opportunity to get. What cannot be ascertained is whether it is an extension of the national government projects, because we also know that national government has been donating some food stuff, and this can be part of it. Whether it's given by Waziri or it's given by Charlene Ruto, that should not be a problem because anyway, people are hungry and people need that help. So some of us might speak from a point of privilege, so when we tend to oppose, it doesn't really augur well. I'm a proponent that young people need also spaces. But I want to make quick observations from specifically Charlene Ruto's speech. Tagging her political ambition messages with the projects she's doing negates the humanitarian value that she tries to portray. And it looks a political token. How I wish that the secretariat that are behind her will just make those projects let them be those projects. Even that foundation, if it is doing, I saw their promise of 100 shoes, pairs of shoes, some laptops, I think some computers to be put in some school there, and also donate more food and come quick chums. If she wants to do that, for it to elevate her well and not subject her to a bit of that radical, I think they should just remove or prune out the political ambition messages. It does augur well, and many people, or rather her critics, will look at it as if she's just campaigning for the father, that the father is in an early campaign. I can tell you, in the next few months here, we are going to have a heated conversation whether we are starting to campaign now or we are waiting to campaign later. That conversation is coming. So when Charlene Ruto is tagging those messages, to me, it will also not make her consolidate the youth, because when it goes political, there are those who will say we are Azimio, we are UDA. But when you go humanitarian direct and you're like, you want to help the youth and go that ambition, it's good. When you will say you want to vie, no one will have a struggle with you. She has the potential of mobilizing the youth. And I can repeat this, that Ruto wants Charlene Ruto to mobilize for him the Kenyan youth. As to whether Charlene Ruto will succeed in this, I don't know. And that is why if you've heard, she spoke of a youth champion. After the election, Ruto lost the touch of the youth. With the court of the presidency, you're no longer a hustler. In fact, you can't come back to 2022 to speak about the hustler, even though I had the daughter speaking about the hustler. It could work in 2022, but in 2027, you're already an incumbent president who people have seen you doing all projects and meeting wazungus and all that. It doesn't augur well to come back and tell people that mimi ni hustler. They don't have that. They don't have that space. So Ruto might potentially try to use her to mobilize the youth, but then across the divide. And if you look at it, when she was going to donate that food, she was accompanied by Eve Mungai and a couple of some few celebrities there. So what is it? That President Ruto is targeting the urban youth. So, like, the Eve Mungais were just escorting her, and these are things are planned. They can't just go because they are going to cover. No, it was something that was technically planned. And what they want, maybe the people that are behind Charlene wants her to gel with the urban youth. So if there is any political position that maybe she might look for, maybe it will be within Nairobi, not even in the Uasin Gishu area. I don't know. That's just my take. Now, showing these intentions where the father is a president can be misconstructed as a plan to ensure continuity. Yes, sadly enough, they can be misconstructed because she's already saying in the next 10 years we should be taking over. And if you calculate the father is in power now, and maybe the father is talking about 10 years, so of course she's talking as if now 2027 is a sealed deal. And what someone might ask is power being concentrated. In Africa, I think it's Guinea-Bissau, where, I don't remember the country well, where a president has appointed the son as the vice president, and some niece or some nephew somewhere is a minister. And, we've seen that happening. So sometimes when you make this, people might misconstruct it as if William Ruto is grooming the daughter, and maybe the daughter she wants the daughter to take over, is to be put somewhere. But she might be making a point, or he might be making a point, because when former President Uhuru Kenyatta left, I think the son did not appear anywhere, not sharp. But again, it's normally very difficult. And I'll tell you why finally before I finish this video. So when you see the Charlene Rutos coming up, and now we also have the Kennedy and Winnie Odinga's coming in the fold, it's a very interesting scenario. But this is the challenge. And that's why I can tell you that Charlene Ruto's political ambitions must highly be guided and controlled by a couple of factors. Because in this country, we have something called incumbency. And when you have the incumbency baggage, it's difficult to make the crack. So as she plans, how I wish that she just goes under Charlene Ruto their way, go and help, and I'll be willing to take Charlene Ruto to my village in Siaya. And the Siaya, Kilifi, Bay, Hapa, Fanye, Kakamega, then you cut your own niche. Even if you will be enjoying a bit of some trappings of power when the father is making an exit, but you've also made a name for yourself. But trying to go that way, the burden, or rather the baggage of incumbency, is very dangerous, especially for the young politicians that are coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. If you watch that speech in Kibera, what also are some of the observations that you can make, and the target in the rural areas, in the urban rural areas. I am so glad that, for me, humanity comes first. So whether Charlene Ruto is getting money from where, whether it's foundation or from State House or from anywhere, that should not be the big problem. But because at the end of the day, she's helping people. Even though, because she's the daughter to the president, the public, she also owes the public an explanation on what she's doing. What is it? Yeah. In the face of transparency and accountability, and also even people reflecting what she's doing, being reflected in the people's lives, people need to know what exactly that should be, even though it's not the priority. That's my take.